There Are No Neutrals by Moses David. Written the 22nd of March, 1970. Letter number F. There are no neutrals. You are either a martyr or a traitor. You're either on the Lord's side or the devil's. Jesus said, "You're either for me or against me. And he that is not for me is against me." If you're for him, you are planning to die for him. You are living for him. You can't say you're for him, but be neutral. Neutrals are for the devil. Neutrals are planning to betray him. Neutrals are figuring out excuses for betrayal, like Judas. They're only pretending to be neutral, to hide their perfidy and treachery and their plans to betray. A neutral is a traitor in disguise. There are no such things as neutrals. Nobody is neutral. Everybody has a bias for or against. You're either a capitalist or a communist. You're either a conservative or a liberal, a rightist or a leftist, right or wrong. Nothing short of right is right. There is no such thing as neutrality on anything. Even a battery has only two poles, positive and negative, and you cannot get them together without fireworks, a red-hot short that will knock the battery for a loop. No battery has neutral poles. You're either alive or dead, hot or cold. But if you claim to be only lukewarm, you're nothing but a lukewarm liar, good for nothing but to be spit out. So lukewarm neutrals are the most sickening specimens of humanity in the world. They make you want to puke. Because you know they're liars. Because you know they're not neutral. Every neutral is a liar. Every neutral is a cheat. Every neutral is a hypocrite. Every neutral is a deceiver. Every neutral is a betrayer and a traitor. He's much worse than an open enemy, because he is the dirty enemy who is pretending to be your friend. And his so-called neutrality is just a cloak for his enmity, to throw you off guard. So it is with those who pretend to be neutral. While harboring your enemies, they lull your friends to sleep until the enemies have taken over. When you finally rise in protest, the neutral shows his true colors by fleeing or claiming he was betrayed. This is always the defense of the neutral. He's always claiming he's not the betrayer, but the betrayed. He's always claiming it wasn't his fault, it was theirs. He's always claiming he's not the traitor, but that the people he has betrayed are the betrayers. No one ever leaves like Judas, but they immediately begin to show their true colors as the traitors they were all along, and the treachery that they were planning all the while, with the accusations against us that they have been storing up to defend themselves for their betrayal. No, they're never the ones that are in the wrong. It was always us. No, they're never wrong. We're always wrong. They're neutral, unbiased and unprejudiced, and very fair. We're the ones who are the villains and the traitors and the betrayers. This is the neutral's twisted, distorted sense of values. To him the facts are whatever he says they are. Black is white and white is black, and the truth is not important. The facts are what he wants them to be. My mind is made up, don't confuse me with the facts. He believes what he wants to believe, and sees what he wants to see, and everything is according to his interpretation. Of course, this claimed neutrality always helps the neutral's friend to pretend to be neutral too, who are liars also, like the American Nittler administration. Like the friends who come over here all smiles to our face and go home and knife us in the back. Oh, they're only neutral. That's neutrality. That shows you really have no opinion in the matter. You're not taking sides. You're just being neutral. The neutral mouths his neutrality above the table, while slipping his true friend's guns under the table to shoot the ones he's deceiving across the table. No neutral ever believes in his heart that he is a neutral. He knows he's not. He just wants to make others think he's neutral, to cover his true identity as a traitor and a betrayer, a liar and a backstabber, the dirty, filthy scum that he is, a lying hypocrite who is using his lily-white Pharisaism as a cover for his dirty work. Like Nittler. There are no neutrals. You're either on one side or the other. And the worst enemies are the liars who claim they have no opinion, the so-called undecided. Well, we're not against you. We just don't like the way you're doing it. We don't really oppose you. We'll just betray you if things get too hot or not to our liking. The so-called neutral is the venomous snake in the grass, covered by the camouflage of neutral shrubbery, but coiled and ready to strike with deadly aim from his position of neutral security. The neutral is the most dangerous enemy of all. Like the United States now with Europe, claiming to be Europe's friend, while handing knives to her enemies to strike Europe in the back. But the Europeans are not dumb. They can see what is happening. They know they now stand alone, while the United States of America, claiming to be neutral, is actually helping her enemies, like with India and Bangladesh. The U.S. claimed to be neutral while arming the Pakistanis to the teeth. So you say you're neutral. You're a liar and a cheat and a traitor of the worst kind. The hidden, deceptive, camouflaged, sickening betrayer. The one who pretends to be a friend and eats at your own table while preparing to knife you in the back. Who smiles to your face while fingering the handle of a dagger he plans to bury in your heart. That's neutrality. Neutrality is treachery, and the neutral is a traitor. Every so-called neutral nation in the world is using this as a cover to get our friendship and money while betraying us to our enemies. Every so-called neutral in the United Nations is a liar and a hypocrite, pretending to be everybody's friend and nobody's enemy, when in their hearts they know exactly where they stand and which way they'll go when the showdown comes, as many already have, including some of you here. In your hearts, you already know where you stand. You know what you really think about the revolution. You know how you really believe the system is not so bad after all, and it wouldn't be too bad to go back to. The revolution is pretty wrong about quite a few things, and you're trying to kid yourself into thinking you're sort of neutral, and in between, broad-minded, fair-minded. Oh, the neutral is always so fair. I can see both sides. The liar. There is no such thing as both sides. Only one side can be right, and only one side can be wrong. So in claiming to be neutral and pretending to see right and wrong on both sides, the neutral puts himself above everybody. He is the most righteous of all. He can see how everybody's a little bit wrong but him, and he is the only one right. The only one who really sees the truth, which he claims is somewhere in between, which makes him the worst liar and the most treacherous enemy of all. as Jesus said, "He that is not for me is against me, and he that gathereth not with me scattereth abroad." You're either for us or you're against us, right or wrong. My country, my country, right or wrong, my country. The neutral is like a booby trap, lying there so nice and quiet in the grass. But just wait and step on him and see what happens. He explodes and shows his true colors. He lies there, looking so innocent, like any other ordinary object, until you kick him and he blows you to bits. That's the nice, little, quiet neutral, who says he's here just through curiosity, just to see what's going on, when he's actually spying and preparing to betray you. He says he doesn't like the way you're doing it. He says he likes the results, but doesn't like the leadership. He comes bearing gifts like the Greeks, but beware. He plans to take away more than he's giving. He comes pretending to be a helper, but turns out to be a destroyer, and the worst of all destroyers, for he destroys within, where he can do the most damage. Like the termite, he bores from within unseen and unheard, weakening the structure and hoping to make the whole building crumble. Like the worm in the apple, whose ugliness you don't see and bitterness you don't taste, until you take a good bite of him and he's exposed, and the sight and taste are so horrible you spew him out, like the Lord does the lukewarm neutral. The most sickening of all people to God is the neutral, the enemy who pretends to be a friend, like most church people today, and the churchy system. May God damn it for its subtle, treacherous neutrality with the world, pretending to be a friend of both God and world at the same time. God has their number. Friendship with the world is enmity with God. He knows the neutrals, the most perfidious, horrible, heinous, nauseating enemy of all, who have the form of godliness without the power thereof, who say they are Jews but are not, but do lie, for they are of the synagogue of Satan, and their churches are temples of the devil. So you're a neutral? So you're a liar and a hypocrite, and a devil in disguise, pretending to be an angel of light. You're just going through the motions, hating every minute of it, abhorring the whole thing, and just waiting for a chance to get out, looking for an excuse to leave, grasping at any straw that will save you, any opportunity of denial of the faith to avoid the martyrdom you see here, just waiting for a way out, while you smile and pretend and lie and go through the motions with only a form but no power. You are the worst of all traitors, and the greatest of all liars, and the most hellish of all hypocrites. While just waiting for a chance to flee from this martyrdom and turn and stab us in the back to defend yourself for doing it, lie about us as some have, and as every system hypocrite does and will do, though pretending to be our friend. The hypocrite just goes along for the ride. He wants to enjoy the benefits without paying the price. He wants to share without forsaking all. There are no neutrals. There are only traitors or martyrs. Which are you? Are you a so-called neutral, in other words, a traitor looking for a way out? Or are you a martyr looking for a way up? The martyr expects and wants to die for the cause as a witness. He'll pay any price, go any length, suffer any agony, make any sacrifice, till death us do part, to obtain the crown. He's dying now and knows it. He dies daily and loves it. He suffers and rejoices in it. Nothing could possibly sway or turn him. He doesn't know how to be a deserter. To whom would he go? Thou alone hast the words of eternal life. Give me liberty, or give me death. If this be treason, make the most of it. Ready to fight, ready to die, for fatherland. Here I stand by the grace of God. I can do no other. Even if he never makes it, he'll die trying. The martyr wouldn't think of looking back. He knows there's nothing to go back to. He dreads being a dead pillar of salt. He abhors leaving a plough deserted in the midst of the field. He is no sickening, half-baked cake like neutral Ephraim. He knows what he wants, and he is determined to get it. He has faith, and vision, and determination, and the spirit of do or die, and he would not think of wavering. Unlike the double-minded and wavering, and those whose eyes are not single, the doubting, the unbelieving, the skeptical, suspicious, neutral. Unlike these, the martyr is determined to go blindly on faith alone, because he has found the truth. Unlike the double-minded neutral who wavers and is unstable in all his ways, who will receive nothing from the Lord, the martyr is of one mind, one heart, one soul, one spirit, one purpose, and will not quit until he's made it. That's the martyr. There are no neutrals. The neutral is a liar and a hypocrite. There are only martyrs or traitors. Which are you?